Welcome to Rhino Exploration. My name is Zach. Today we are going to go over what I use to inflate my tires when I am done on the trail at the end of the day. So stay tuned, guys. So as you can tell, we are in my house. It is under 47 degrees today and 25-mile-an-hour winds, and the only way I can film in the garage is to have the garage door opening, because the lighting in there is terrible and I don't have those little windows in the garage door itself. So we are in the house filming today. So be advised if you see a little orange cat running around meowing, that's just Casper. You can ignore him. You've seen him in some of my other videos. But what we're going to go over today is the air system that I use to air up when I get done on the trail. This is from a company called MORRFlate, and I really enjoy this company. So before we get going, let's get into some of the specifications about this company. So when I went looking for a air up system, I wanted an onboard air system for the Jeep so I could air up my tires after I was done on the trail. But so many air systems cost so much money. ARB, which is one of the biggest names out there, which is not a sponsor of the channel, costs a ton of money for both their portable units or their hard install units. And then you have, some of the companies out there that you can find on Amazon. And I'm going to be honest with you, some of those products, though they had some decent reviews, I just didn't trust it. They weren't designed to be used to air up and down, to air up your tires all the time. They weren't designed for off-road purposes. They were designed to fill up a tire here and there every once in a while. And I wanted to go with a company that was known for off-roading. And there was Casper. He's silly. So, after doing a lot of hard research, watching many different YouTube channels, and just seeing what other people used, I came across the company called MORRFlate. And they are actually a growing company. They are not a sponsor of the channel, but they are actually a very fast growing company. And their product has been absolutely fantastic. I will start by saying that I have had zero issues with this product whatsoever, and it has worked flawlessly every single time, and the quality of the product is amazing. So let's go ahead and open these up, because I got two different things with it. So I have the air system here and I have the hoses here, and I've got them both from MORRFlate. Yes, you could, if you want, build your own hoses and things like that, but honestly the price for all of this together was really affordable, and everything is super good quality. So let's go ahead and let's start with opening these up, and we'll get to the air system. So it does come in these bags, both the things. The air system is in this portable bag. It's got handles, and it's actually a decent, decent quality bag. It's like, I feel like it's like a tent material kind of bag. You can push it around places, but it keeps it all nice and compact. You can pull it up and around, because in the Jeep, this stores in my recovery box in one of the corners, so it's great. I can open up the, I can open up the case, pull it out, put it back. It's real simple. So in here, grab the handle, and here we have our air pump. And then if we open up this bag, we have our hose system and gauges. See? Alright, so we got everything out. Let's start with the air pump. And yes, like last time, I'm going to be reading you some of the facts just because, once again, it is a bunch of knowledge that I cannot remember off the top of my head, and there is quite a bit. So this is their 10.6 air pump. They do make a 10.5, which is just a single motor air pump, but this is basically their twin motor air pump. It does come with a handle. On the back here, we do have the on-off switch. You do have your air-up hose that connects to all of these. And you do have your 12-volt connections. You have your negative and positive for your battery on the Jeep, your Bronco, your car, whatever rig you're using. This hooks up to your vehicle's battery system. Alright, so some of the information regarding this 10.6 air pump, okay? So one of the key things about this air pump is it is designed to inflate all 4 tires at the same time. They actually do not recommend airing up one single individual tire at a time. Instead, what this hose thing is, when we get to it, the hose pack, it actually has 4 different valves that you stick onto all 4 tires, and it will regulate the air in all 4 tires. And this pump is designed to air up all 4 tires at the same time. You actually will dwindle down the life of the pump and the time it takes to inflate the tires if you just inflate 1 tire at a time. Hi. How are you? He doesn't like phone cameras, but he'll sit in front of this camera. I don't know. He's weird. All right, back to this air system here. Okay? All right, so here's some of the facts regarding this 10.6 air compressor. At 0 psi, this sits at 10.6 CFM, okay? At 30 psi, this goes to 6.5 CFM, and this is rated at 150 psi. So it will inflate up to 150 psi. This does have an internal kill switch, so when this is on, when it is inflating up tires, it will shut off at 80 psi. And if it's off, and you stick the hoses onto something and it starts reading 120 psi, it won't let you turn it on at all. Like, you can flip the switch, it will never come on, period, because that is its kill switch for when the power is off. If the power is on, this will automatically kick off at 80 psi. So this is a 12-volt system. It does run on a 90 amp peak, and when it is actually running, it's only pulling about 50 amps at a time while it's running when you're filling up your tires. Its external dimensions, it is 14 by 7 by 9 inches. So it's not super big, you know, 14, 7, 14, 9, 7. It's not a super big thing. It's like most other twin size air pumps that you find that you could hard mount someplace. And you could hard mount this. This is on a plate that you could either hard mount the plate to, or you could actually unscrew it. There are little screws on here that you could unscrew, and you could hard mount this into your Jeep, into your rig, whatever you have, and it will sit there just fine. I have kept this on the mount just because, like I said, I keep this in my recovery box. I don't have it hard mounted in the Jeep yet just because we have not gotten to that stage of hard mounting things like the air compressor and some of the other recovery gear into the Jeep, just because I do not have my platform system yet. And then the last real piece of information are both the air hose and the electrical cords are 6 feet long. So these will reach from the ground up to the Jeep's battery or your rig's vehicle, depending on where it is, and this hose is long enough that it will extend. Okay, so now that I've kind of completed my notes here for a little bit. So this is a very well made product. It is made here in the USA, and honestly guys, everything feels super strong about it. Yes, there are a couple little plasticky pieces on here, but even they feel like they're solid in place, like they're not going to move. And I've used this air system countless times airing up after trips. I used it in Moab, New Mexico, here in Colorado, down in Arizona. This has been working absolutely fantastic. Now, as you can see on the front here, one side kind of does all. On this side that's behind me, literally just has the name. It has some of the information regarding this particular pump. And then on the other side, you have your switch, you have your air hose connector, and you have your battery connectors. So it all kind of operates on one side, which I really personally like, because it means when I get done off-roading, I can just pull this out, set it on the ground, facing the Jeep, and I can just connect everything as I need to, and it works really well. And I'm going to be straight up and honest with you, this could compete with ARB. I have seen a ton of people using ARB because that, like I said, is one of the industry leading air systems, and this has gone toe to toe with it. This will air up my tires from 20 psi to the level that I run them at on the road in less than 10 minutes. I think I stand there for at most 7 minutes, if that, to air up all the tires in one go, and it works really, really well. And I really like that it airs them up that quickly. And I'm talking all 4 tires are aired up in 7 minutes. I think from start to finish, pulling this out, hooking up the hoses, connecting everything, and then turning it on, I think it takes maybe 8 minutes to air up the tires at the end of the day on the trail. So let's kind of move away from this at the moment, and we will move over to the hoses here. Alright guys, so now onto the hoses. As you can see, they are 2 different bundles because one side goes to the passenger side, one side goes to the driver's side. And it actually, if I flip this around, this is the passenger side, this is the driver's side. Now they do have 2 different hose kits. So they have multiple hoses on their website. I got one of their hose kits because their hose kits comprise of having the 4 different hoses connected together so I can air up all 4 tires. Now they do have a 125 foot hose kit and a 155 foot hose kit. This is the 155 foot hose kit, and honestly I probably could have gone with the smaller one, but I wanted to ensure I had plenty of extra hose, and this works great. It reaches all the way around the Jeep to all the tires, and I have no issues whatsoever. And this is your little inflator deflator gauge. So this is a gauge, it is there. You can press the button to turn it on and change the units, and it reads you what the air pressure is in all 4 tires. So this will equal out the air pressure in all 4 of the tires, which is really, really great. Now, one of the things about this air system, or these air hoses, is it works 2 ways. It airs them up, and it also will deflate your tires, all 4, at the same equal pressure, and you can stop it. And it's really cool, and it's easily done by this little sleeve here. So if you pull it down, it doesn't let any air out. If you push it up, it lets all the air out of the system, or lets air into the system, depending on how you have it. And it's super easy to use. All you do is unstring one, and you get your hoses, whoop, just as such. Try not to fling around. So you do always get one shorter hose, which goes to your front tires. So for instance, this is the passenger side hoses. This connects to the front passenger tire. This one runs to the passenger rear tire. Well, that camera battery died awfully quickly. Well, I was not expecting that camera battery just to tank all of a sudden. All right, so on to what I was saying. So your hoses do have a shorter and longer hose. So the shorter one always goes to the front tires, and the longer one goes to the back. The ones in my hand go to the passenger side, so front passenger, rear passenger side, okay? And they're real easy to connect. So you put them on your valve stem, and I will admit, it does take a little bit of force to get them onto the valve stem. Now, it might be just because the system is so new, hasn't kind of worn in any, but it does take a little bit of force to, a little bit of power to get this on. And once it's on, you just move this sleeve up on here, and it locks the hose in place so it will not come off, which I really like the fact that this locks it onto your valve stem on the tire, so it will not just pop off randomly. And it does the same on all 4 tires. All 4 tires come with the little sleeve and thing. And it's real simple to just hook up. And then once it's hooked up, you'll start seeing different numbers on the gauge here. And once they're all 4 hooked up, it will tell you what the equal pressure is between all 4 of the tires. And then you can easily hook this in, flip the switch, and it'll air them up. Or if you're airing down, you can just easily pull this down and air it down to your desired air pressure. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never used this to air down my tires. Honestly, because I already have little tire deflators that I just screw on and walk around and do it. Next time I go off on the trail, I will have to give this a try. I'll be honest, every time I get on the trail, I kind of just go into automatic movement mode and I just get into my recovery box, pull out my tire deflators, and instantly hook them up and kind of go on my merry way. And I kind of forget that this does that. Next time I'm on the trail, I will definitely give this a try and tell you guys how it goes. And then winding them up is pretty straightforward. Now, one thing I have found with these hoses is that when you wind them up, you do need to give it a little bit of length within the circle. About this will do. If you make it too small, it will not fit properly back into its bag, I have found. So if you give it a little bit of length, it will fit in there just nicely, no issues. And you can, you know, pack it away, get yourself back on the road to the next trail, or get yourself on the trail if you're getting ready to hit the trail. Let me just wind up this hose real quick. And boom, just like that, guys, we have our hoses wound back up with the deflator right in the middle. Now, the 2 biggest things. Now, I've been telling you kind of my opinion as we go. I absolutely love this system. And so far I've had this for almost 2 months now. It's going to be, by the time this video goes live, it'll have been 2 months since I've had this product, and I've used it every single week, multiple times a week during those 2 months. And this air system has not failed at all. I know I've said it, but it is such an amazing air system, and I absolutely love it. And I've had no issues with anything, guys. Like, everything is really well made, it's really well put together, built, and just, it's a very clean system. Now, I take pride in taking care of my things, so, you know, I wipe these down all the time. I put them back in the bag. When I get home from a trip, that's when I wipe them down. I'll store them. But this lives full-time in the Jeep. Now, it's not hard mounted, but this lives full-time in my recovery box. My recovery box lives in the Jeep. It doesn't leave the Jeep except for when I'm cleaning. And so I've had no issues. This has been in -degree temperatures. This has been in the heat so far. Now, I haven't gotten it into the desert heat yet, but I don't plan to, I'll be honest with you. If I'm near the desert heat in the summer, then I'm exploring wrong. Should be here in the mountains of Colorado. But the system has never failed, and the gauge works amazing, guys. It's so easy to use, and this fills up so quickly. Literally, like I've said, from start to finish, pulling it out of the box and connecting everything, 8 minutes to air up my tires, and then add another minute to put everything away, and so make it 2 minutes. It's a whole 10-minute system from starting from opening the Jeep door to closing the Jeep door when I'm all done. And that is absolutely fantastic. All right, on to the next biggest thing, the price. Now, what did I pay for all this? Because I did pay for all this. Like I said, they are not a sponsor of the channel. They did not contact me. But I did have to contact them, and the people at MORRFlate are super, super nice and super helpful. We had a little bit of issue when I was trying to buy this between either my computer or their website was kind of being glitchy a little bit. I don't know. But I ended up calling them, and they were super helpful and went, you know, made sure that nothing had been double charged on my card and things like that. But on to the price. So this whole system cost me $430. It's about $435 with tax. And that was for both of this. Which, if you compare it to ARB, the ARB twin air compressor mounting kit to either hard mount it into your Jeep or just to have the box, and the hoses itself, which does not come with a regulator, you have to get the little regulator separate, was over $1,000. over $1,000, guys, for an air system. This was $435 altogether, and it works the exact same and can compete with ARB. And I loved it for that. It was a budget air system that wasn't from Amazon, from a company that is super reliable, and it works, which is the best part. It actually works. Now, the hoses were about $199, call it 200 and some, about 200, 201 with taxes. And this itself is $230. Now, their smaller 10.5 air system is cheaper, and they do have, their other hose systems out there or their other hoses are cheaper too, but I went with the 155 foot or 155 inch hose or whatever. I went with the 155 hose and with the 10.6 air compressor. And it was only $435, guys. Like, that is an absolute steal for an air compressor that, at least from the past 2 months, has not failed once. And I've used it multiple times a week and every week over the past 2 months. And like any air system, the only thing it kind of gets is it gets a little warm, but the second it turns off, it cools off instantly. It's not deadly hot to where you couldn't touch it. And everything is super durable, guys. Well, guys, I hope you found this helpful and informational. If you haven't if you've never heard of MORRFlate, go check them out at MORRFlate.com. The link is in the description to their website, and I will also leave links in the description to these products in particular that I use. If you go to their website, you'll find all their other products, or you can hit these links and flip through their tabs. You'll find all their other products that they have. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're returning, welcome back. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, guys. We have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and honestly, you guys are what is going to make that happen. I will keep putting out the best content that I can and keep learning new ways to bring you guys even better content, but I need your guys' help by clicking that subscribe button. I know 1,000 subscribers doesn't seem like a lot, but baby steps here, and that is our goal for the end of the year, is to hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay? Also, if you would like to check us out, we are also on Instagram, Facebook, and we do have a Facebook group called the Overland Exploration Club. You guys can go over there and check that out. In the group, I do live videos, I do other kinds of content, and I just building a community with you guys so we can all interact. I know there's tons of Facebook groups out there, and I'm just adding another one to it because why not? Can never have enough actual groups for you guys. If you guys would like to help support us, head over to Patreon, guys. Anything that you guys would like to provide or donate to us is greatly appreciated. It helps us be able to keep bringing you guys content, going on our adventures. What you'll find over there is you will find my waypoints, some of the campsites that I use. I am currently working on a spreadsheet for those of you, because I do use Onyx Off-Road, who is not a sponsor of the channel. But I know some of you guys do not use Onyx Off-Road or use other systems. So I am currently working on a spreadsheet with all the grid coordinates. It's just taking me a little bit of time, guys, because there's a lot of points that I've marked on Onyx Off-Road. And so I'm pulling off those grid points for you and putting it in an Excel sheet. And you'll also find other content that I don't put on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube even. And eventually, once we get more people, we'll have a Patreon weekend where we'll get together, overland, camp, go on the trails, and just have a fun time over the course of a weekend, just to, commemorate you guys for helping to support us. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.